FXO TV.
Alright, here we go. Next game up here is going to be NS Hosos Jack G, the most recent GSL Code S winner, up against Startail Ace. And Ace has been around a very long time, right? But he'd had his win at IEM and then he kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. Because he's been unable to make it into the GSL. I am Unstable, joined here by Railkin, of course. And Railkin, what do you think of Ace these days? Like, he is very close friends with the FXO team, of course, so we know a little bit more about him than most others. And it helps FXO was practice quite frequently for his PvP, but he hasn't really been able to break out yet.
Yeah, I mean, you basically just took the words out of my mouth. We've been seeing a little bit more of him recently. He's been playing well, but he just hasn't produced any results. So I'll be curious to see how he does against Jack G, who's just been, honestly, just tearing it apart recently. He's been just abusing everybody, and he's got a lot of these crazy builds that you look at it and it's like, that's so abusive. Don't you feel dirty after doing that? But I mean, that's in the good way, because he just like breaks the game in his favor sometimes.
Well, he did put in a very impressive showing in the last GSL finals against FXOpen's Lenok, and to be honest, that was one of the highest skill games I've ever seen. So I definitely expect a lot from Jack G in the coming months as he does continue to improve. But something here, we actually have a Nexus first coming out from Ace. He is at 15 supply, climbing in those minerals. And we actually have a gas here from Jack G. So this could work out quite well for Jack G if he gets the right unit composition. Ace is going to be on the back foot, you know, coming in against this pressure build. So.
Yeah, he's not actually committed to anything yet, so we'll see what he does. If he had gone for like a 2-Rax or something, then definitely he'd be in trouble, but it's interesting how the 2-Rax keeps falling in and out of favor recently as... Oh, Jack G almost accidentally let the probe into his base.
Yeah.
That was fortunate for him that Ace was not paying attention, as that would have killed the entire point of what he was doing there to keep the probe out. But he did get away with it just barely. And waiting to see what Jack G switches into. It looks like it's going to be a factory. But what after that is the question, Unstable.
What after that is very true. He's still trying to get rid of this probe, which is being very nicely controlled by Ace. He's on half health now, though. Unfortunately for him, he's also going to have no idea what's going on. Jack G's SCV is now coming up into the main. He's going to notice the timing on this gateway, of course.
Yeah, and the Nexus can be like, oh, you went Nexus first, okay. So might be thinking about adjusting around what he might have been going for, trying to apply a little bit more pressure early on. But he did go for his second gas, so he's going to have more of that available. Been seeing more of the Hellions, so could easily move into like Blue Flame, or with the delayed tech from the Nexus first, he could try for Cloak Banshees or something, but the probe just got in the base, Unstable. How did the probe just get in the base? And he just scouted the tech lab next to the factory, so yeah. That shouldn't have happened.
That should not have happened, exactly right. So he knows exactly what's coming now. Especially with that starport, he's probably going to go into a robotics facility very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, either way, if that's Banshees, he's going to want the robotics facility just in case. If he's going to switch into like a 1-1-1 or something, he's going to want the robotics facility. And if it's Blue Flame Hellions, well, it's not going to hurt him. So...
We do have a bunker at the bottom of the ramp here for Jack G, so he's just worried about any kind of pressure coming after the follow-up here. We do have Cloak being researched now by him, and there's the robotics facility in the main for Ace, so he's going to be prepared for this, going to be straight onto an observer, and there's the extra 2 gateways. So that probe getting in the base really punished Jack G, and now Ace is going to be completely safe. He's going to be very far ahead in his expansion, and as long as he doesn't completely choke when it comes to defending this Banshee, he should be in a good spot to take this game.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the Cloak follow-up when you scout the Nexus first like that is not uncommon, but when the probe comes in and sees it, that's just a completely different story. They might sometimes still try and skip that robotics if they're feeling a little bit risky, but there's no way that Ace was going to do that after everything he saw, because he's now up to 4 gateways, so he's going to be able to warp in quite a few gateway units. Observer being chrono boosted out, so he's going to have that well in time to be able to stop in the first Banshee.
A second one queued up
probably
behind
gonna see him
this,
get
though.
a second one, yeah.
And Ace is actually starting to put proxy pylons around the place, so he might want to try and counterattack as soon as he defends this aggression coming out from Jack G. That being said, though, he's got a second observer on the way. First one is going across the middle of the map. Second one not chrono boosted at the moment, but this Banshee is getting awfully close to Ace's natural, and he's going to have to be careful because he could lose quite a few probes here. Looking at the unit count, there's only 2 Stalkers. 3, okay, as I say that, it goes up 3 to 4, etc. And here it comes, Banshee in the natural.
Observer's not out yet. It's very curious that he decided to send the first Observer across like that without chrono boosting the second one. Observer has now finished, and look at that reaction from Jakshi. He saw that the Stalkers changed angle, knew that the Observer was coming, and actually managed to get away before he took too many shots.
Yeah.
That was actually very well done. But there's an armory unstable. Why is there an armory?
Oh, please let this be the Thor build.
Oh my god, it's a Thor.
It is. I love this build. Jakshi did this against Puzzle in the GSL. He also did it... Oh, what was the other Protoss he did it against? Was it Oz? I think it was Oz. But anyway, yeah, it's a very punishing build, and I love seeing it happen. And here's Ace spotted this, but yeah, the Banshee comes back into the main, gets 2 more shots off on those probes.
He doesn't want to let the Banshees die with this build, right? Because he likes to have the Banshees and the Thors mixed together. So he's actually being pretty careful with the second Banshee that's trapped in the corner. Probably wants to let it regenerate some energy so he can try and sneak it away, but the other Banshee, I believe, got away as well, but I lost track of where it is. Oh, it's just flying home with 30 health at the moment. So yeah, he has kept both of them alive at this point. There's a Raven on the way, which works really well with this as well. Point defense drone, going to be pretty good against the normal counters. And the thing is, well, because of what he's going for, and he's specifically not showing 1-1-1, Ace is not making Immortals, which would help a whole lot against the Thors.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Does get a good spot on that now. Nice.
He scouted the Thor. Will he actually make some Immortals now?
Well, in a televised game, I've only ever seen Jakshi use this build. There may have been 1 or 2 that I haven't spotted before, but this should be a big tell because not many players would do a build this unique. Especially since it does take a little bit of time to get used to with the timings. It's very unorthodox. It takes a lot of practice to get down right. Jakshi obviously has the feeling that it's going to go well for him. He's got a second starport on the way. His +1 vehicle armor is about halfway done. And really... Oh, actually,
that's an interesting choice.
Like Storm. He will be able to feed back these Thors because they do have energy.
Oh, the Banshee's trying to slip out. Oh, doesn't quite make it. The Observer was in position. He chose the wrong direction. Actually, both of them are covered by Stalkers and an Observer. So, he tried to sneak out, didn't quite work, so that Banshee did go down. But the issue is, like, also with this build, if you lose any of these Thors unnecessarily, it's just gonna... That's it. They're so big, they're so expensive, they take so long to build. But you have to be really careful with your Thors when you have them as part of your army composition like this.
Yeah.
And... he's going for charge as well, so he's going to have charge to try and get some good surface area with Zealots. He's going to have feedback as well. I'm curious about the armor upgrade, though, because Thors scale really, really well to damage upgrades.
Well, the only thing, what they'll be doing is they'll be covering the Marines behind them, right? And the Zealots are going to try and get in there. The +1 armor really helps more against the Zealots than anything else.
Yeah.
And if you can keep the Thors alive, even for a second longer, the Marines at the back will do it. The Marines at the back do most of the DPS once they have stim. But I don't think they actually have stim at the moment.
They don't have stim. That's
so it looks like he's actually going to go without stim.
He's adding 2 more barracks now, so it depends on how long he wants to wait.
We have a Warp Prism. This is going to help out Ace immensely because Jakshi's army isn't really going to be that maneuverable. The Thor's extremely slow. There is 5 of them on the field already. Already a very dangerous force, but he's going to just be throwing so many feedbacks on these. He can feedback the Raven, the Thors, the Banshees. Everything is going to be able to feedback. But looking at the energy of these Banshees, it might actually be a good idea for Jakshi to turn on and off the cloak. Because he really wants to keep these Banshees alive to target down the Stalkers. And if the Stalkers die, then he will be able to clean things up.
Yeah, he might do that right before the Thors arrive, but you can see that he's moving through the center of the map. He got spotted by the Watchtower. Stalkers are heading home. There's an Observer in the area as well. And the Banshees are in at the potential third, taking down pylons, just trying to make this difficult for him. So he's just trying to draw these stalkers off. He found one of these proxy pylons, is taking it out. But look at this, Ace warping in at the left pylon before he got supply blocked by all these pylons dying at the same time.
Well,
Looks
he's
like
actually
he's
20
going
for
to try and
supply
come in at the
down
natural.
too. So this does not look good for Ace whatsoever. He needs to get that army. He's actually got the ghosts in the war
Zealots
prison.
got scouted by a banshee, so he sees them, he knows they're there, and now the army's actually moving up to try and intercept them. It doesn't look like they'll be able to catch him, but that was actually really well done. He's not going to get caught off guard by those zealots once the army moves out, and he's going to get another pylon. That's like, what, 4 now?
Well, strike cannons is being researched now, just in case there are immortals on the field, because they just decimate immortals quite nicely. There is a lot of High Templars here, though.
It's ridiculous.
11 High Templars on the field. 4 of them are in that warp prism in case any ghosts are mixed in. But that's a lot of Thors here, Elkun.
If this went to the late game, you could mix ghosts in with it. It'd just be like you'd need so much gas to do it. But back in the beta, there was a ghost Thor build that actually gave people a lot of troubles for a while. It's just he's spending so much gas on the Thors and Banshees right now, he can't afford to mix that in just yet. And this is one of those strategies where it's going to be very all or nothing.
Yeah.
This is either going to kill your opponent or it's most likely just going to end in failure, because Thors are just so big and expensive that if this doesn't work, he's going to have a hard time recovering from it.
Well,
but
the simple fact that he's 50 supply up is a pretty big indication he should go down. Oh my god, nice storm! Goodbye, Marines! And is he going to get a feedback off? No, he does lose one of those. So those Marines are going to be useless.
He's actually just making twice the strike cannon with rock. Oh, he wants to open up the ramp. And he's clearing out the energy. That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
He's using the strike cannon to clear out energy and open up the ramp so the Thors can move up next to each other. Okay, I wouldn't even thought of doing that. That was awesome.
There's some storms going down on all those Banshees, but he needs to start piggybacking some units as well. His High Templars are going through.
Oh!
Nice storms at the back of the Marines as well. PDD's going down. More storms everywhere, but the Zealots just not being able to make a dent in these stores. There's more and more coming. There's, of course, SCVs behind here as well. More storms everywhere, but just the repair too good.
Well, oh my god. And that's the thing is, like, Thors, they actually do a pretty good amount of damage pretty quickly once you get a lot of them.
Yeah.
They pretty much define the term critical mass. Once you get that many Thors, they can take on almost anything. With a Banshee support here, this is completely ridiculous.
It reminds me of the game where the Ultras would splash damage all the Thors in a big wall.
That doesn't work anymore. They actually can't splash Thors
yeah,
anymore.
I know, but it was still fun when I saw it happen.
But I mean, he got all the Marines, but without managing to take out the Banshees, there's actually not much he could do against that. That's actually really difficult. You need a way to take out the Banshees as well.
It looks like Ace is done.
Particularly relaxed Immortals. Yeah, this is a crazy build by Jakji, but it's. I feel like this is one of those builds where you just can't let him get this many Thors and Banshees.
Yeah. Well, the fact that Ace was down on supply as well didn't really help him. Nice. Ace going for the last ditch test. He does get a good full surround on one of those Thors. He's going down eventually. Feedbacks as well, but there's just way too much stuff here for him. And it looks like we are going to see... There's the GG. Congrats to Jakji. He will take down game number 1 in this best of 3 for the upper bracket round 1 for the FXOpen Invitational Series. And I really like that build. I'm probably going to go and take lots of notes on that. Especially, it was just the little intricate things he was doing. Things like the strike cannons to deal with immortals and waste energy on the rocks. Ace had a really good idea for dealing with it with the High Templars. He just didn't have the amount of zealots he needed to follow it up with. He was down on supply most of the whole game as well. But that being said, great game by both of them, and we'll go into game number 2 and see if Ace can bring it back.
My name is Haksu Kim. You're watching FXO television.
Very
And welcome back, everyone. Game number 2 between NS Hoso's Jack G and Startail Ace. Jack G's doing one of my favorite builds, to be honest. In the last game, taking down the win. One more to get him through into round 2 of the upper bracket, but this tournament is so stacked, it's not funny. And he's just going to hit hard opponent after hard opponent after hard opponent. So let's find out who takes it down, shall we, Railkin? Let's go into game number 2. It is going to be dual side, of course, with Jack G on the left in the green pastures and Ace on the right in hell. I always call it hell, but it's not exactly that bad. Eh, whatever.
Wow. That sounded like a whole lot meaner than it actually was when you just
really?
said it offhandedly like that. I don't know why. But anyways, I don't know. That build was awesome. I mean, I've seen similar builds, but I've never seen one particularly like that before. I missed a lot of Jack G's stuff recently in the GSL. So
You've lost your
very
passion,
interesting.
Railkin. If you didn't watch every single game of the GSL, you have no excuse.
No, I don't watch every single game of the GSL.
I forced you to be awake to cast with me at this time. You can simply just stay awake for 2 minutes and watch GSL. You have no excuse.
Yeah, because the GSL takes 2 minutes to watch.
Shut up. Not the point. Not the point, alright? Anyway, we do have a gas coming down from Jack G. Could be seeing some more pressure, or even maybe the same build yet again coming in. Yeah. Well, we were touching on this earlier. Yesterday, I think it was, that sometimes doing one build and someone can't stop you. You just keep going over and over and over again. It still works.
Not with that kind of a build, though. Like, that kind of a build is designed to catch somebody off guard and, like, punish them. And once it gets, like... It's like a Mack
But he
truck.
wasn't caught off guard. He had the observer and saw it really early. It's just very difficult to stop. You have to get your unit composition perfect.
Expect somebody to make that many Thors in one game. Like,
if it's Jack G, you do, because you saw it happen versus Puzzle. Ha!
anyways.
Yeah, that's right. You shush.
You should, mister.
Alright, so we're going to have Jack G coming in to scout out what's going on in Ace's base. Has his second geyser.
SCV ready.
And we do, of course, see the factory going down up here at the north of Jack G's base. So he has not got his second geyser just yet, unless I am like completely being silly. He did get his second geyser quite early in the last game.
I think he delayed a little bit before he got it, because he started with the Banshee tech.
Yeah.
He didn't go straight into Cloak. So if he was going to do a similar opening, he probably would have started the refinery by now. As this factory is finishing up. It is over here in this position where he might drop another starport over here just to be closer to his opponent's base.
Nope.
And then start off with... That's what I'm talking about. He's putting it up in the top right corner so it's closer to his opponent's base. And then maybe start off with one Banshee with no cloak or something.
Quite possibly. Doesn't have a tech lab on his barracks, of course, continuing to pump out Marines. And this is looking suspiciously like a very popular all-in at the moment.
He doesn't have a reactor on the way, though.
Yeah.
Like, usually you get a reactor on the barracks, just so you can make a ton of Marines. And, like, he probably would have made a tech lab on factory by now. So I don't think it's that. It looks like he's just going to be Marine Hellion, Medevac, Pressure. Yeah, there's the Medevac being queued up.
Well, he's actually got a second Medevac. Wait.
No.
He was supply
The
cap
first-
for a second. I looked at
Yeah,
it
he
and I
was
was like,
supply
oh, it's
cap.
reset. I'm like, what? I've cast too many games today. We need to take a break after this one. Alright, so this might actually work out well. Marine King did this versus Sase in our first game of the entire tournament, where he poked in at the front with some Marines and then went in for a Hellion drop at the behind him, and it actually worked out phenomenally well. It got 16 plus workers.
That was partially due to a mistake from Sase, and then he followed it up with a 2-1-1 follow, which after that, losing all that economy, he was just like...
As you say that, double tech labs go down and a second barracks comes in. So,
Yeah, he has a reactor on the first one as well, so he might be doing a similar type of build.
Oh.
It's just with that reactor coming later, he's not
the
gonna have
Stalker's
quite as many.
seeing that though, and here come the Marines into the natural. There's only 2 sentries here. The probes need to get out of there right now. There goes the force field down, but still only
They're
one
all just
Stalker.
up the ramp, and the Hellions are dropping. Oh my god, they're all stacked up.
Chase it!
Yeah,
Chase
huge
it!
average for it. Oh my god! He can kill so many probes right now. He's actually force fielding. Oh my! That was 13 probes already.
Oh, Marine King wins that one. Sorry, Jack G, but he got more.
Yeah. He was off by 30. So if you want to beat Marine King, you have to come back in here with the Hellions and get 4 more. Or at least go for the top.
Yeah.
But it looks like, yeah, he's following it up with the 2-1-1. Most of the Marines actually got out. You can see them in the center of the map after he forced all the probes up the ramp. So he's got a good number of Marines.
Well, the Observer
with
did
this.
just spot the Banshee coming across, so we should have a good idea on what's coming now. He does see the complete building structures. There is no siege yet. Marine King did have siege, remember, in that game.
He didn't make a Raven, though.
No, not. That being said, though, there is a robotics facility, but no Immortal just yet. I heard a Chrono Boost, and I was like off the camera of the robotics. I was like, did he just start one and Chrono Boost it as I said?
He's Chrono probes, which is he's got a lot of energy.
There we go.
It's a good, but the
Hit a Banshee in the main.
And actually disrupting quite a bit. The Stalkers were out of position. He's getting 4 kills there.
Oh.
5. Oh, he missed. He didn't focus the right one. There's 5. And then he will be able to slip away. So one of the things we saw Sase do is he had a ton of energy, and he didn't try to Chrono Boost any of his probes out just to try and recover. And you see that Ace is actually getting an Immortal out pretty quickly as well. He's going to need Zealots, too, is the problem, because he's only on Stalkers, and Stalkers and an Immortal isn't enough. You need to get the Zealots out as well. Hey, look what he just warped in, Zealots. So we'll see if he can actually try and recover enough. But oh my god, that's a lot of SCVs.
Yeah.
Jakshi's saying no, and he's just going for the killing blow
I am going
right now.
to kill you now.
Pretending that he's going to try and expand. He's just going for the throat, and this is looking pretty dangerous for Ace, because he still doesn't have that many units. Look at the supply difference of Sable.
This is like deja vu of our first match. The first day. Like, swear to God. There's so many SCVs here, they're going to get repair that Banshee so nicely, and he's probably just going to target down these Stalkers. Here he goes, he's actually staying in a nice position. Ace is 30 supply down already, he's losing Stalkers at the same time. These Banshees are still alive. There's so many Marines, this is game over. I don't see Ace winning this whatsoever.
Ring King didn't have siege. Well, he did after the fight started.
And here we go, Ace coming in with all the probes, trying to get in there, but there's way too much stuff, sorry.
Tucker's from behind and actually just die.
Yeah, there's the GG. Ace taking, Jakshi taking a convincing win here in the first round. 2 very one-sided games, to be honest.
Yeah. Isn't that the same map that Marine King did it on as well?
Yes, it is. It's just swapped positions.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly the same. Anyway, let's go into our next set, shall we? Don't forget, guys, if you want to go into the running to win one of, or even multiple, maybe, Razor Gear, signed FXOpen jackets by your player of your choice. Get some FXOpen player replay packs. If you want to know about Linux ZVT, sub up to the Twitch TV channel down there. It's $5 for the entire event, and you'll be in the prize for running all of these things. So, we're going to go into our next match. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Byung-Se Ho. I'm Tower Terra. You watching FXO TV.